When it comes to the Bible, how do we know what is real and what is allegory? Let's talk about that. When it comes to figuring this out, one thing we should consider is universal law. For example, do snakes and donkeys talk? Do virgins give birth? Do people resurrect from the dead? Are people born without mothers and fathers? The obvious answer is no. These stories absolutely break universal law. Now, before you get upset, keep in mind that universal law is God's law. It is the law that allows everything to exist in the way that it does. If the story of the resurrection of Jesus is just allegory, does that mean it has no power? Absolutely not. Just the opposite. It has more power, it has more significance, meaning that it's something that takes place within each and every one of us. If God wants us to know anything, it's that these stories are powerful allegory that is about each and every one of our own spiritual journeys and walk with the divine. So one thing to consider is universal law. Universal law must remain the same and stable and as a constant forever for everyone. If God or source was to change or vary universal law for certain individuals and not others, then God or source would cease to be just. For example, if God told someone they could enter heaven without having to taste death, that would be unjust and unfair, and obviously goes against universal law because that just does not happen. People have to die to enter the afterlife if it's interpreted literally. So since universal law does not allow snakes and donkeys to talk or people to be born without a mother or a father, this is a dead giveaway that you are reading allegory. These stories are allegory that have a deep meaning about your spiritual journey. Another thing that can help you discern what is real from allegory is common motifs. What is a motif? A motif is a reoccurring pattern or detail that exists in literature and art and other media. For example, is Jesus resurrecting from the dead something new and original, or has this happened in other religions and stories before Jesus? For example, Adonis, Inanna, Persephone, Osiris, Tammuz are all dying and resurrecting gods that existed long before the story of Jesus dying and resurrecting. When you see these reoccurring themes, that's your cue to realize they are allegory that are meant to tell you a deep spiritual truth about yourself. Snakes have also been very significant and important in many mythologies and religions long before Christianity. Another example of common motifs is that long before the story of Moses, there was said to be this person named Sargon. Sargon was, as an infant, put into a basket and then placed into a river and sent downstream to avoid infanticide, and was found by people and raised up in royalty to be a leader for around 50 years before that kingdom died. These stories are simply being retold and retold because they have symbolic meaning to them. So if you're ever in doubt about something that should be taken literally or allegorically, keep in mind those two things: universal law and common motifs. I hope this video has been edifying, useful, or at least entertaining to someone. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button, comment, share, follow. Get more of this information in the algorithm so that more people can see it. Stay blessed.